because
Yeah.
it is too hot. Because it is too hot, and only this room has AC.
Oh, yeah, this you're in your bedroom, you said, right? Or
Yeah,
yeah. It's been beautiful here the last couple of days. Very temperate. It hasn't started getting really hot yet, like you have already. But
yeah,
yeah,
it
but
is
the
good.
mountains, the trees and the mountains are were beautiful when I was driving down from Pennsylvania after the week after Easter week. I can just about remember the point when I started to see the mountains and I could smell all the red bud trees coming in through the car fan. And it was just beautiful, just really
Oh,
pretty. Yeah. So, uh, yeah, it was a good trip down and it's been nice here. It was really good to see everybody again. It was good to get back.
okay.
And yeah, and I don't think I've missed any days of writing. Sometimes it was just a little thought or a couple words. Um, I had I had a chance when I was at the monastery to work through two different childhood traumas, and I wrote these down. One lady came from Canada,
Mm.
and did I tell you this already?
Yeah, yeah, you told.
Okay. All right. So I did talk to you the Monday after Easter. I haven't talked to you since I've gotten back here.
Yeah.
Have I? Anyway. Uh, so I'm still getting insights. One of the insights I got uh, yesterday and the day before was an addiction, no matter which one it is. I'm going to hold this. An addiction, no matter which one it is, always has ripples, ramifications and ripples through not, uh, and maybe we'll get better at not reacting to that as the generations go on. Um, but my experience of it now is that it still causes ripples and sometimes they're very deep. um, and yeah, that was one of the biggest insights that came to me as I was thinking of how it's affected people in my family on both sides of my family, not just one side,
Okay.
and my siblings. But I did hear from my sister on Sister's Day. 2 days ago was Sister's Day. I didn't realize it, and my youngest sister, that I wasn't sure really wanted to talk to me,
Okay.
sent me a little text, and she and her husband took 5 days and went away to enjoy themselves. So I told her I was glad that she did that for herself, that they did that. Um, so it's been quiet. Last night we all got together at Debbie and Dwight's house. The people that I'm waiting for them to come over. She likes making dinner at on Sundays for everyone. I think she's been doing it for a long time. When they lived in New Jersey, I think she used to do that all the time, and so she likes family gatherings. But we have a guy that's fairly new in the neighborhood, and he's kind of become one of us, and we all end up at the senior center together on Wednesdays.
Okay.
Yeah, so what's going on with you? That's kind of it for me.
So, uh, we had a workshop of all the CEOs that I work with,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and they kind of reflected what I was already working on.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's kind of a great feeling that you can observe things which already the CEOs are observing, or no are concerned with some issues.
Yeah.
So that was great. So I was working on a document about my entire experience last year when I visited the countryside. No, so
Yeah.
so that was that is the work going on since last since April 5th. No, I never take this long to complete a document, but in between I work on some other things and get distracted. No, the whole thought process kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
stops, and then it the work also stops.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's finally taking shape. I also didn't know how to put it into a document,
Mm.
which makes sense to everybody because it is meant to be sent to people and they
Mm-hmm.
should understand how my thought has progressed.
Yeah.
Because most of the time the I cannot catch hold of my thoughts. My thoughts are way faster than I can capture. No,
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, so the logic of why I did the next thing, I at times I miss that, miss capturing into the document.
Mm-hmm.
But the it is always a logical thing to do. So it starts from a very little thing like in a group there is attendance, right?
Yeah.
So six ladies are there in a group, and all five present in a group meeting is
Mm-hmm.
100% attendance, and not many capture that essence, like what is the percentage like, how, how many people were there. So
You're saying you observe that and not everybody observes it?
because they think it is ordinary, yes, nothing special about it, you know.
Oh, okay.
So if somebody is given this assignment of going to these ladies every month at least twice or thrice, then if somebody is not showing up in that meeting is not a big deal for him. No, he is also not going to report it anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the month, if suppose there are 1,500 ladies and uh, they all have to show up, say, for twice, which means 4,000 times. No, 4,000 presence has to be there,
Mm-hmm.
and and it has not happened. Means there is something is missing. You know. Um. So that is one aspect. From I started from there, observing those ladies not showing up. It
Mm-hmm.
also it also meant that they have several people asking them to come to the meeting, the group meeting,
Mm-hmm.
the same group. So, how many times can a person come? Suppose it is five people, twice they come in a month, and
Mm-hmm.
all of them ask them to be present in their meeting. How many meetings they can come? So it shows that they are not interested, to be present because they're nobody is saying anything new to them after the loan, because these groups are formed to
Uh-huh.
give small loans to these ladies to
Yeah.
start their some activity. Now if five people have given them some loans, and they expect them these ladies to be present at five different meetings,
Mm-hmm.
then they cannot attend that many meetings.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they are interested in the money. So
Mm,
after they get the money, they are not into this
they don't
meeting.
want to. Yeah, they
Huh.
don't want.
But, but when they repay, suppose the repayment happens every month. There is an installment they have to pay.
Yeah.
Then they send the money via somebody else. So one person from the group, they send it
Oh, oh,
away, which means one lady shows up who carries everybody's money and gives it to him.
yeah.
So means at the end the business is happening, but there is no connect. So suppose if this is happening at a stage, nothing is amiss and everything is going fine. But
That's
suppose,
what to assume, but that lady's goat died and then she didn't tell you and all that. And then she missed.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I can see how that, I can see a lot of reasons why people wouldn't show up. They might
Mm,
be embarrassed or they might think that, you would be upset with them. The goat died, all kinds of stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, so suppose the lady doesn't show up,
Yeah.
then what does this person do? Does he go and check, inquire what is happening with her? And if he has found out what is happening with her, then did he report that this is what is happening with the group? No.
Yeah.
So after some time he loses track of the lady, no, whatever happened. So
Mm-hmm.
each person handles say 300 to 400 clients. How many things can you, if you are not noting down every day,
Yeah.
how many occurrence can you remember? No?
Yeah.
So that is the main thing. So when you talk of human relations, if you don't remember details about a person, then the relationship doesn't happen. No, it doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
So, uh, which means the business also doesn't exist. The business
Yeah.
also is not there.
Right.
So people
And
are worried when the
and you
business.
you
Yeah,
when they come to the meeting, you probably share tips on how to do different stuff, so they miss out on a lot if they don't come.
yeah. So what happens is these officials are not equipped enough. No, despite me telling over and over again that somebody comes to the meeting only if she knows that there is something interesting that she will miss out if she
Yeah.
is not.
Yeah.
But these people are not trained. Like these people are, say, school after school, they have just taken this job and
Yeah.
they do not have much in their brains, no, to innovate something and say.
Yeah.
So, which will be relevant for these people. And they cannot also kind of connect what is they are being taught. Like, for example, one of the things they are trained with is they should not have any personal connection with the clients,
Yeah.
which means it implies no financial transaction they should have.
Mm.
It doesn't mean that they will not know the clients. No, knowing
Yeah.
the clients is not about documents, taking the documents one time and forget about them.
Yeah.
So it's a huge thing, and over a period of time, this this thing is not new for some of the clients who have taken say 5 or 6 cycles of loan.
Uh-huh.
They already understand the processes, right? They
Yeah.
understand many of the rules. Yeah.
How long is a cycle? Is one cycle?
It is 2 years.
So some people have been in the program 10 to 12 years.
Mm,
Wow.
yes.
Good for them.
Yeah. So till they're 18 to 55 years of age, 50
Hmm.
years, say, they can take the loans. So during that, at least 7 to 8 times everybody has taken.
Hmm. Wow.
And so they know the rules, how it happens, right?
Yeah.
So
Do
yeah.
those people, do the ones who have been in the program for so long, do they come to the meetings or they don't anymore because they've been doing it so long?
Yeah, see, that is what they do not come to the meeting that often.
Yeah.
And this is a this. So even if you are doing something for the last 20 years,
Yeah.
still you show up if there is something new to know and
Yeah.
new to happen, new people to meet, or something new.
Right.
So there is nothing new. It is like once the money is disbursed to them, there is till the repayment happens, there is nothing that is happening
Yeah.
with them. So they are not interested, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Have you,
So mm,
this is kind of off the subject, but related a little bit. Have you noticed anything in your nonprofit or with loaning money? Have you noticed any shift in that because of the economic situation or tariffs or anything? Has it trickled down to you yet, or
yeah.
no?
So many things happen in the lives of the clients. No, the economy plays a big part, but nobody is going to accept that the economy is playing a big part. The
Mm,
economy is no, many people have lost their jobs, their
yeah,
activities. They are not having profitability unless they have some steady kind of cash flow.
yeah,
They are not able to repay. So the sector has taken some beating, because of
sure,
this. And this is just not one factor leading to another,
yeah,
like that. So
yeah,
chain of factors. So the client is not really responsible for what is happening in her life. Only she
mm,
is having this guilt because she is not able to repay.
yeah,
But the reason why she is facing this kind of situation, she doesn't know. The officials do not understand. So high time that the sector should do something about this.
yeah.
Yeah.
And are you getting discouraged, or you get discouraged and then you just, you get through it and you go on? I don't know you to stay in a slump for very long, but every now and then it's got to be frustrating.
So for me, I know the solution.
Yeah.
Even if the very difficult of times, there are solutions, right?
Yeah.
So, but that solution cannot come from only me. It has to be a collective action because
Right.
the every part of the entire area I go to, that particular area has certain kind of opportunities, certain kind of all those
Hmm.
things coming up. So who knows about that better? The
Yeah.
local people, right?
Yeah.
So they need to put their brains into that to find solutions. And
Hmm.
that is precisely what is missing. So when you are not inspired, no, you are not inspired, not
Yeah.
motivated to find solution, it is a very depressing scenario.
Sure.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Um, that reminds me to tell you, Austin, my son applied for. Uh, he's been applying for jobs, and he's not been working consistently because of his veterans disability uh, since 2020 after he had his surgery. So
okay.
we have big hardware stores here like Home Depot and Lowe's where it's humongous, and you buy building supplies and nails and paint and all that stuff. So he's tried several places, And today he went to McDonald's to
Okay.
see it for an interview. And I, it's I think well, I'll be curious if he gets it. I'll be curious to see, how his body holds up. He can only work part-time. um
Okay.
and yeah, so you know I'm curious to see how it goes for him, because uh I think it will do him good to have something out of the house. He's been but he's been in the house taking care of the kids, but they're 12 and 10 now, so they're not as dependent on him as they were before, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I've Yeah, but I hope that somebody says yes. He's heard several no's, so I think he needs a yes to to get inspired, and we'll see what happens if they hire him. I'm thinking they might be able to have they might be able to give him a pretty flexible schedule part time. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, so I hope he's inspired. I think that's why I thought of him, as you were talking about. When you get inspired, things feel better. He'll be inspired to bring a paycheck home. I know that.
No,
It's been
that is the best way to impress your recruiter, right? The
Yeah,
person who is hiring, you cannot always impress with whatever you have done or your abilities. It is your ability to inspire them
yeah,
actually uh, gets you the job. So,
yeah.
yeah.
I asked Rebecca, my granddaughter. I said, "Did your dad have is acting? Was your dad together? Did he look good, nice when he left?" And she said, "Yeah." So
Yeah.
I didn't see him. I just saw him in the car. I thought he was taking her to school, but she's home for the day, not feeling so good. So she said her stomach was bothering her, so maybe she has cramps. I'm not sure. She might be on her period, but then she said, I wanted to skip school anyway. And I said, that's a very dangerous situation to start getting into. But the kids have missed a lot of school, over the last couple years because of COVID. And then lots of kids have been sick a lot. And so uh, attendance doesn't look like it did when we were kids. It's very
Hmm.
different. It's very different here. I don't know about there, but yeah. And a lot of kids here are homeschooled. More kids are being schooled at home than ever before, too, I think.
Yeah.
Do parents do that in India?
They have started doing that because the new kind of schooling have come up and many people are opting. So it is not easy to start, unless
Yeah,
the entire community which is going for homeschooling, because it
right.
is very negative for the kids if they're not in a kind of community like that.
Yeah.
So I know few places have started this homeschooling
Mm-hmm.
where where the children are taught only those subjects which they are interested at that time. So
Yeah. Yeah.
the kids hear about cooking at times, and they go for
Mm-hmm.
cooking, then find out it is not their cup of tea, then they
Right.
move on to something. But the teacher and the entire system has to be very patient about what the child is opting for.
Yeah.
Whatever the child is opting for, they had to be with
Right.
it and go with that flow. So that is
Right.
basically the homeschooling that is happening here.
Okay.
So yeah,
I,
yeah,
I think that makes a lot of sense, rather than put kids through things that they
mm,
dislike, because then they don't pay attention. And
yeah,
one way or the other, if you're interested in something, I think you'll get the other stuff you may not be the greatest reader in the world, but if you can fix anything, if you're mechanically inclined, sometimes you don't sometimes you don't even need to read the instructions. People that are really good at it don't need instructions a lot of times. They just are naturals like you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I would have liked to take I would have liked to take shop classes like the building and the classes that the boys got to take when I was in school, but the girls took the home ec, sewing and cooking, which was cool, but I think they should have given us options for both, a little of
Mhm.
this and that, because um and also we should have learned how to take care of a checkbook, some economics. We didn't get that in high school, and everybody, you know I never learned that until it was too late.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Same.
it was much harder trying to learn it as an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Same here with me also. I remember learning knitting,
mhm,
knitting and stitching.
yeah,
So uh, I was very good at that. Uh,
yeah,
and nobody told us about these checkbooks and the other side of things.
yep,
I was not good at with the mechanical thing, no, these things that boys, the tool and all
yeah,
those things. I was not good at, so I was not paying attention to that. But
right,
this finance thing, no, this is very important. It has to be taught in the schools very early.
yeah,
Otherwise one misses. Yeah, because I remember my uh, my mother was not that good with finances. She was not a good manager, finance manager. So
oh,
she didn't manage the household well.
yeah,
So many told her, who she respected, like my uncles and all those
mm-hmm,
people with less salary than your husband have created many assets,
mm-hmm,
and you are not able to do. She
yeah,
used to get very angry because she didn't know how to. So that
yeah,
is why I said, how can I save money, because she couldn't save anything.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
What was she really good at? What was
she was she was very systematic in keeping the house very neat and clean, and
mm-hmm,
she was good when till she could. She used to be reading a lot and
okay,
examined everything very critically. So that
oh,
has come to me. But
yeah,
I also missed, um, like I could observe that she was not a good manager, finance manager. So when she had this schizophrenia. She was schizophrenic.
yeah,
So uh, when she was very sick, I took running the household very early.
mm, okay,
So the limited money
mm-hmm,
my father used to give me, and the household was running with that very
oh,
well. So
all right,
uh, uh, yeah, so I became good at managing money, within my resources,
yeah,
and so that was the learning. And I knew she could, but because my father could not trust her with lot of money
yeah,
because she could manage it. So he
yeah,
became like limited with the money that
mm,
she could give her.
yeah,
So
yeah,
and he tried to manage his money in different ways. He also didn't know much about in that time. Also, not many people were investing and doing all those stuff. He was
sure,
also not a very good investor or
yeah,
wealth creator, I would say.
Yeah.
but he was not uh, this spendthrift either. He was very, he made us very be okay with small things that we had with
Yeah.
respect to our clothes and whatever, no? So
Yeah.
uh, that was okay with me because
Yeah.
I learned to manage with small things and became a minimalist. No,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't many of the things. So
Yeah.
that way I learned a lot.
Yeah.
And my brother actually became like my mother. He
Mm.
he doesn't know how to manage money, but his wife is a very good manager of money. So that
Uh,
is how it has balanced, you know. Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mhm. Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
good,
yeah.
uh, yeah. If you have somebody that balances you out, that's a good thing, huh?
Yeah. So she is very a very important part of our household in
Mm-hmm.
terms of money. Otherwise, there was nobody to manage that kind of money. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Good deal. So, did you have a long day or it was a good day? Are you tired? You ready to go to sleep?
No, 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 no. Actually, it was a good day for me
Good. Yeah.
because I was working on that document. It was creative, so that is why I didn't feel any time. No time just went
Yeah.
flying by. So it was a very good day. I'm not feeling tired. It is just 9 p.m. right
Oh,
now. So
early. Yeah.
I another 2 hours before I go
Yeah.
to sleep. Yeah.
Okay. Last night, Fawn, my housemate, or the
Hmm.
lady who I staying with, she must have had a she didn't have a calm night. She was up a lot, and
Hmm.
because my bed is in the foyer right outside of her room, when she gets up, I wake up. I'm a pretty light sleeper, so
Hmm.
I don't feel like uh, I don't feel like I got a lot of sleep last night. But I don't usually wake up tired, and if I do, I just take a nap. But I don't
Hmm.
have to do that often. But um, I'm gonna when my friends come over, because they were in construction, I want
Hmm.
to. I finally got the settlement from well, I should be getting the check any day for the car accident that I had a year ago.
Okay.
And what I realize is um I could I think that I could insulate this space on the side of Austin's garage. I think if I insulated the top and the ceiling and the sides, and I'd have to put some money into it, but I would be willing, to invest some of what I got um, into making this a place where I could live. And this way, I would rather pay Austin. I'd rather give him rent money again. It doesn't have plumbing in here, so I could uh, probably just either do two things. I could use the bathroom and the shower in his house, which is just, you know, 20 feet away, 50 feet away, maybe. Or I could see about using like camping equipment there's no well that it costs a lot of money to dig a well here. And
Hmm.
I'm just looking at some options as opposed to having to rent from somebody. I like being with Fawn, but I still know I would like to be I'd still like my own spot. And this place is big enough. This is bigger than the little tiny home I lived in for 3 months. It's bigger
Hmm.
than that. And it's attached to Austin's garage where I stored all the stuff I took out of here in the last couple days. And so it could be a good thing for both of us. I just have to see. I think I'd have to use insulation that got blown in, or foam that that expands behind the walls, because the walls are already up. And I gotta see if my friend can tell me if he thinks it's feasible. I don't know where the studs are in the walls, and whether they're open so the foam will go in there. I got to ask him some stuff and find out, like, the windows in here don't open, so I think I should replace two of them at least, so I get some cross ventilation. There's no screen door either, so if I put a screen door on and replace two of the windows, plus I have a big floor fan, I think it I think with the insulation it could be, it could be decent in here, cuz right now in the middle of June and in the middle of July and August, it takes your breath away in here. It's probably like what you live with all the time,
Yeah.
and it's not very comfortable. It doesn't cool down until September and October, where it's comfortable to do stuff in here. But I'd be willing to invest some of the money that I got, to do that, and it would help
But
Austin.
what about the roof, Sophie? The roof is what? Concrete?
The roof is tin.
Tin.
It's a
Oh,
it's
that's
yeah, it's a slanted tin roof, and I can see holes in it. So the foam insulation that they could spray up there is supposed to expand and not be penetrable by water. There's not a lot of holes in it, but the roof is old. There's a lot of tin roofs in Alderson, and in the farm, Austin's house, just 50 feet away, has a tin roof, and a lot of houses here, especially the old ones, like his is an old farmhouse that's about 100 years old, and yeah, and it sounds good when the rain hits it, but there's no insulation in. I can see the tin, and the
hmm.
side, the floor is wooden, but there's a big crawl space, so there's air under it. That there's dirt, right? There's about 2 feet of crawl space, um, and so the cold weather gets under there. So I would probably have to put down another floor on top of this wood one and put insulation in it, and then put another floor down, which wouldn't, I don't think that would be that expensive. But it needs insulation. I don't think there's any in here, because it
Yeah.
wasn't built for year round use. But I got to get some ideas from Debbie and Dwight, being that they used to be in construction. And I'm figuring, and it's got to be upgraded electric wise. He put the electrical in when I first cleaned this place up, so that I can hang the chandeliers. But there's not. It's got a fuse box instead of a modern flip the switches, and
Hmm.
it will overload and trip the lights, and then you have to go down in the house and turn it. So there's a lot of work to be done, but um, I think that I could afford it, but we'll see. I'll get some ideas from Debbie and Dwight. I
Yeah.
wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind living by Austin again. I just don't want to live in the house with him and the kids for a couple
Hmm.
reasons. So yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll
You should
see.
have you should have your own space,
Yeah.
but by somebody, by your son, that will be very wise,
Yeah.
because you have your own privacy, your own space, and also be close by to somebody you close to. So
Right.
yeah, so that helps, actually. That helps.
Yeah.
And uh,
And my friend that I'm living with is a very smart. She's very smart. She's a quilter. She's written a book on quilting. She's very talented. Um, and she's starting to lose her memory, which isn't that big of a deal. Not badly, but a little bit. But what I have a problem with is that in the evenings, a lot of times, almost every night, she has about 2 or 3 beers, and um, I don't think that that's helping the situation. And when she does that, she's kind of nervous anyway, but she gets even more hyper. And she hasn't shown any signs of aggression or anything. I'm just uncomfortable with that to a certain point because I I don't know her that well. I've known her on and off, for the last year, but this is the first time I've ever lived with her. And um, I guess maybe I'm a little leery of, because it happened with my girlfriend who I knew for 20 some years. Um, I don't want her, I don't want to be in a situation with someone who drinks and have her freak out on me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I gotta just do one thing at a time, but I'm trying to do what's best for me, and she could use the income. I know she's happy to have the income, but Austin can use it too. So maybe what if I find out that I'm going to go forward with this, what I'll try to do is say, give her a heads up that, in maybe 4 or 5 months, however long this takes to get it done, that I'm going to be over here. So she has some idea, how long she'll have some extra income.
Mm.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. One thing at a time, right?
Yeah, yeah. But this is
Uh,
this is a very good idea, no?
yeah. Uh, it it could be a good idea if I find out that I'm not just throwing money down the drain trying to insulate this place.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but that expandable foam seals up things, supposedly. At least it says it does when you read about it. It expands and it seals and keeps mold from happening and water from dripping. So there's several kinds of that expandable insulation. Of course, lots of different prices, but we'll have to see. I can't do that myself. It's a chemical thing, and I wouldn't dare try it. Some people who can do that could do it if you're a do-it-yourselfer, but I'm not that kind of do-it-yourselfer.
Mm.
You got to wear a mask and all that jazz, and that's not something I should be trying. So anyway,
Yeah. You can also tell Austin to help you with it if you decide finally to do
yeah,
this. Maybe he also will have some idea about how to roof that properly.
yeah, yeah. He actually used to be in construction before he had his neck surgery. That's what he was doing. Um, he doesn't work quickly, but he's good at what he does. Uh,
Yeah.
so I don't want to leave him out of the process, but I do want to get a couple of opinions um, on on the whole thing. But yeah, I'll ask him about it too. I don't think he
Mm.
would be help me too much because of his body, but when I ask him to help me with simple things, he is. I think I told you he's good working with somebody rather than being a self starter. Like if I say, Austin, let's do this together, he's much more apt to do it that way. So,
Mm.
and there is a bird either that made a nest outside, because I've been hearing a bird since I came here. I got here about 9 o'clock, I think, about 9:30, and there must be a nest up
Hmm.
up the side of outside. Oh, I see a I see a piece of siding that fell off of Austin's house at the very top. Oh my God, it's going to be like that forever.
Yeah.
He's got a ladder that would reach up there, but nobody I know is going up on that ladder.
Hmm.
Oh my, oh they. And it looks like there's water damage. I'm not even going to look. An old farmhouse has so many problems, and so it requires so much maintenance. Oh my God. It's a big house, but it costs a fortune to heat it because it's not insulated that well. And, the roof is old. I mean, 100 years old, 100-year-old house in West Virginia has gone through a lot.
Yeah.
It requires
Yes.
lots of maintenance. And there's a lot of people in Alderson who don't make tons of money. And you may have bought yourself a good sized house when they were inexpensive, but the maintenance will eat you up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
if it is a very big house, then can he not rent out a portion of it?
I actually said that to him when I moved out. I said to him, Austin, why don't you consider renting this room to somebody? And I said, there's so many people in town who are looking for a place. Because he said, well, I wouldn't want somebody that I didn't know living with me. And I said, Austin, there's a lot of people in town looking for places that you might know.
Hmm.
I'm not, you probably could find somebody who wasn't a stranger, but
Hmm.
he didn't take my advice. And now Rafe uses the bedroom as his virtual reality gallery. So he goes in there and he's on his virtual reality headset. And he always sounds like he's on the phone. Every time I hear him, I think he's on the phone with somebody, but he's not. He's talking at the creatures in his virtual reality game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the room is basically empty except for the bed frame. But I thought that would have been a really good way to make money, but he wasn't having it. So whatever. I would have thought about it, but I mean I did think
So,
about it, but it wasn't my house.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Austin has bought this house sometime.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
When when he and Hannah were still living together, they rented it when they moved out of her family's house. They rented this one, and it was really rough. And they got a good deal on their rent because the guy wanted Austin to fix it up, which he started doing. He worked a lot in the bathrooms, he did a lot in the kitchen. And then COVID hit, and then he had to have surgery, and everything came to a screeching halt in the house. And the kids were tiny, they were small, they weren't tiny. The kids were small, and the house, and they had 6 animals. They had 2 dogs and 4 cats. It was crazy. The house was a disaster, literally a disaster. I mean, there was no ceiling in the kitchen, and the cats were up there. Oh, it was, when I came in the first time, I couldn't believe it because the kids were little and their toys were everywhere. And Hannah and Austin both had their own issues they were dealing with. It was a disaster. I couldn't even stay in the house. And I felt bad that I couldn't, but I couldn't. So I used to stay in the little hotel around the corner, a little motel, right? And
Mm.
yeah, it was tough. It was tough on me. Maybe it wasn't tough on them, but the house, oh my God, I was embarrassed for them. They weren't embarrassed, I don't think. They were working on it. And but then not too long after that, he had to have his surgery, and she moved out in her right at the time he had his surgery, and that's when I came down from Ohio to help him, and he was recovering, and I did a lot to make the house presentable because I couldn't live. So no, this is not. So we put a list together. I still have the boards. We wrote down everything that it needed, and we had 4 boards about this big, both sides, with stuff. And every time we got it done, we'd cross it off, right? And we came a long way together. And it was a good, we did a lot in the couple years that we were in there. But poof, good thing we didn't take any before and after pictures. Or maybe we should have, I don't know. But it was something. Yeah. So it's come a long way. It's far from perfect, but it's a lot better than it was.
Mm. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So my
Mm.
dear, I think I'm gonna get off here, and I got a little more to do before Debbie and Dwight get here. And
Mm.
and it's kind of cool in here now, so I gotta move around a little bit. My toes are getting chilly. So what are you gonna do for a couple hours? Are you working
So
or are you?
yeah, I'll do a Facebook Live,
Oh, okay.
and see little things here there, and then I'll go to sleep. Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
Well, with catching up with you again, you look
yeah.
cheery.
Sorry.
How
You said-
I said you look cheery. How's your
Yeah,
yeah? How is your garden? Is stuff growing?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So it has started growing. Yeah.
Good,
So I
good.
have 4 bitter gourd creepers coming up,
Yeah, yeah.
and a lot of leaves, green leaves. I I get twice a week from
Oh,
the garden.
well,
Yeah.
I would love to be growing my own greens. Maybe if I get settled in, I can grow them in pots. The soil here is pretty rocky, but I could grow them like you're growing your stuff in pots, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
I'd like yeah, I'd like to do that.
Yeah.
All right, my dear. Have a good
Okay.
love you. Talk
Bye.
to you soon.
Bye. Bye.
Bye bye.